So last minute statements of the orange, or excuse me, the September 7th CRD. Yay, CRD! It's out. Wait, another CRD? What? When was the last CRD we had? Like 3 months ago? I think it was earlier than that. Holy, hold on. Let me check my videos. When the fuck did I publish that video? Needless to say, it's a very it's an extremely it's extremely short, really, very short. Yeah, 1 month ago. So it's less than a month ago, or roughly a month ago. Wow, that's two CRDs within 1 month, 2 month period. That's ridiculous. And I just want to say this outright. I hope more come. Most people are like, oh, hey, there's a lot of shit that got banned out of, the new CRD. Do you want more banned? It's like, yeah, I do want more, because to me this is housekeeping. Like, this is the housekeeping that a lot of decks, a lot of game, a lot of what this game needed. Like, a lot of people say ban set 1. I say ban set 1 except for MPs, named cards, allies, and Dragon Balls. I think we can do. I think we could live if we got rid of Time as Warrior's tool. Personally speaking, whenever I test I test myself against myself all of the time on Octagon. I call it the gravity chamber. So if you ever see Useless AF gravity chamber on Octagon, you know that's me playing 2 decks against myself. And every time I draw Time as Warrior's tool, I always just roll my eyes and like, great. Most of the time, actually, I banish Time as Warrior's tool. Like, I draw Time as Warrior's tool, because it's like, I'm not really gonna like test against this, right? Unless it's like, oh, well, I'm playing like an anger deck, and it's like, I really don't care whether or not, you play Time as a Warrior's tool. Or I have like Black Foreshadowing, Tug of War, and like one other card, like a block in my hand. I don't give a shit if you play Time as a Warrior's tool, but for the most part, if they do ban set 1, don't ban the Dragon Balls, don't ban the allies, because don't ban the personalities, don't ban their name cards either. Like, because to me, it's like, does Captain Ginyu really need a nerf? Freezing all of the Ginyu Force? Not really, but there are a lot of cards that, in my opinion, I would miss. Like, I'd miss like all fucking hell. I kind of want to make a video in regards to like what decks would be super popular if they froze set 1. Because you don't understand, there are a lot of really good cards in set 1, but I think a lot of people know that already. So at this point, I'm just kind of babbling. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so I have the CRD right in front of me. I came prepared, guys. I didn't. Wait. I need to go and check it now. Like, I don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna start off with the two free stock cards, 2 orange cards got frozen. Okay, just to kind of refresh people's mind. Maybe people don't know about this, but overpowering attack. This card gains limit 1 per deck. Here's my question: why? Now, the more I think about it, the more I want to say that allies were always one of those things that I kind of don't like running allies. If I really think about it, like, if I'm not playing a deck that's all about allies, to me there's a lot of shit riding on allies, and unless I'm playing like oppressive draw, or not dynamic ball coup or something, which, despite the fact that I'm like, oh yeah, I really like dynamic ball coup, I don't want to play dynamic ball coup. But unless there's like, unless the point of the ally is to get rid of the damn ally, I really don't like playing ally decks unless it's like dedicated ally function. Because to me, you have to build up too much board, and it's hard to do in opposed to like orange, or hell, even cards like red, Saiyan a little bit, But beside the point, overpowering attack, limit 1. Why? Why is it limit 1 per deck? A lot of people are like, well, overpowering attack is not really all that necessary. It's like, it's not necessary. There are a lot of cards that you don't need it. It's like, get rid of overpowering attack. Yeah, it'll be fine. My question is okay. So, kind of backing up. My thinking process behind overpowering attack isn't necessarily the okay. What would it do? What is is overpowering attack super brutally overpowered? To me, it's more or less the why. Why are we limiting this to one? To me, because I think like tag Bobbity, decks like tag Bobbity, tag team Ginyu, and a handful of others. I don't think it's like, well, you lose your drill searcher. You lose your drill searcher, or you lose your ally searcher. Excuse me. You lose your ally searcher. My question has always been, it's a very very easy question. Why are we getting rid of this? Oh, because tag team Vegeta got top cut in Worlds, and I think it was tag team Bobbity as well. Maybe I forget what they ran. I think it was Mischievous, but I forget what Bobbity they ran. But it's like, well, that's heavy ally intensive, and then there was Supreme Guy, ran a good number of allies, and there's this long, comprehensive laundry list of allies that you can grab with overpowering attack. To me, it's like, wasn't that always kind of the point? Oh yeah, but it needed to be toned down. Like, to me, I don't think tag decks need to be toned down as much as most people thought they were toned down, or how much they thought they needed to be toned down. So, to me, because it's like, well, you get an ally, and there are a lot of fucking annoying allies to get, like, to grab. Like, trust me, I'm on that boat. In the TCC, the Time Capsule Cup, and Octagon, I'm going to be using overpowering attack. Sort of some spicy combos, but overall though, it's like, is there really a point to this? I think part of me wants to say yes, because there are a good number of allies that are annoying as shit to deal with. Bulma ally is a ridiculously annoying ally to get rid of, or to deal with, because it's but that's kind of the point of Bulma ally, isn't it? So it's like, what they're doing is they're stepping back and they're saying, tag decks are setting up too quickly. Not tag decks, decks that run with allies are getting those allies a little too quickly. And there's some areas that I agree. I think Gohan gets a little too many allies very, very quickly. I think MPs like, not even Cell. Like, I was about to say Cell, but it's like Cell's kind of got an MP stack devoted, so it's kind of like where Cell would get hit, but Cell would not get hit hard, I think. But like Gohan, a lot of people would probably say, yeah, Vegeta kind of pushed that. To me, it's like, there are a lot of annoying allies, and I think there are a lot of annoying MPs that can abuse those allies. I don't think that overpowering attack is the cause of all of them. Especially in like blue, like if they were looking to nerf blue decks, blue tag team decks, blue ally decks in general, they did, but they also didn't, because blue is already kind of one of those super powerful decks. It's always been one of those super powerful ally decks. So it's always like, you're getting rid of blue, but blue's kind of the ally archetype. So are you really nerfing it? That's my question. So it is limit 1 per deck, so you still can't use it, and it is still recyclable, so you can still rejuvenate it and reuse it that way. But at the same time, it's not. To me, I don't think it's as necessary as it should have been. Maybe limit 2. I think there were a lot of MPs that abused the shit out of it. I think there are still MPs that will abuse the shit out of it, but I think it's less so now. My question is why. So that's just my question. I think a lot, and I think I'll pretty much just answer the entire question. Ally decks have tendencies to get set up very, very quickly. They have tendencies to get set up very, very quickly, and tag team isn't helping that. Blue stylish pose isn't helping that. So really, everything outside of blue and blue tag team is where overpowering attack is getting hurt the most. So Namekian enlightened Gohan, for example. Even though Gohan does have areas, Cell got nerfed, Vegeta got nerfed. I don't know if I don't know if their intention is to get rid of Vegeta or tag team Vegeta, but you know, as much as tag team Vegeta was, I'm starting to see why. Just kind of going over it in my head, I'm starting to see why they'd get rid of overpowering attack. So, doesn't necessarily mean that I agree. I don't think it to me it kind of goes back to Red Tactical Drill in the same logic of if you wanted to get rid of it, then make it less so. You know, try to make it less so, but outright freezing it is kind of unnecessary. Yeah. So that's Orange overpowering attack. Frozen is visiting the past. I already made a post about this on Retro. It's kind of a shit post, but whatever. You pour one out for your homie. Visiting the past. I know a lot of people say, yeah, I'm totally glad Visiting the Past is gone, but it's always one of those cards that, to me, Visiting the Past will be one of those cards that's just like, you know, you were good. You were so good. You were damn good. You were good. You were maybe you were one of the best. And I'm not saying all of us will outright miss you and think about, man, I miss Visiting the Past, but I want to say that there's a place in everybody's heart for Visiting the Past. Whether or not it's having, you know, just getting those really, really good MPs out, or just really recycling those really, really powerful cards, or just outright getting different areas. I just noticed there's a typo in my character card. Yes, there is a typo. I'm gonna keep that typo in there. I'm gonna hold on to that. But I'm sorry, I'm trailing off. But Visiting the Past, you were a good friend. You were a good friend. Not necessarily everybody's best friend, but you were a good friend. You will be one of those completely remembered cards. As just you were a friend to everybody. You were like that you were the childhood friend. You were the dog that everybody loved, at least a little bit in their life. Even if you're like, yeah, I'm kind of gone, Visiting the Past. You know, I'm kind of happy that Visiting the Past is gone. You know, you still probably had a time where you thought to yourself, man, I love Visiting the Past, at least a little bit. Yeah, I like Visiting the Past. I kind of wish it was frozen. Even if it's like, yeah, I like it, but I wish it was frozen. You probably still have an instance where it was like, I'm really happy I had that. You know, so will we miss Visiting the Past? I don't think so, personally. To me, it was always one of those cards. It kind of felt like a cheat card, but at the same time, it did strike the balance of things. There was a balance to it, but in hindsight, and all in all, I don't consider it a sore loss. I consider it a loss, and I consider it a very, very funny loss, or not ironic, but just it's a loss, but it isn't that big of a loss. Everybody will remember all the good times we had of Visiting the Past, but we won't outright sit there and be like, oh, I really wish it wasn't frozen. It's like, even if it wasn't frozen, or you'll look back and look at all the good times, but you won't miss it. That's how it is. That's how I think Visiting the Past will be. Now, second portion is the grandiose Orange Meditation. So you look at my title card, it says the death or orange. It's supposed to be the death of orange. I would go back and edit it. You know what? I'm going to edit it right now. Give me a second. Okay, this is going to be blatantly... There we go. Death of orange. The death of orange! Is it happening? Are we finally seeing the destruction of orange? And in my opinion, no. That was quick. That was quick. Could probably figure out by the title card. But the death of orange. Is it happening? Is it soon? Will we see just this drop in power for orange, and it finally gets back to the way it is? And the answer is not really, because I don't think it's going to happen quickly. Or it's either not going to... Rather, it won't happen as quickly as one might think. So what does that mean? Okay, so we look at Orange Meditation. This card effect gains. Limit 1 per deck. Banish after use. So why was Orange Meditation absolutely ridiculous? Because it shut down MPPV. MPPV was supposed to be an orange weakness, but then they got rid of it by adding Orange Meditation. Is Orange Meditation gonna die because of it? No. Now, Anger is going to be a lot more powerful, because, again, especially against the orange matchup, because it's like, oh, I can shut you down and prevent you from leveling up once a game. You know, unless you're Goku, unless you're Draku, but that's a Draku problem, that's an under-orange problem, you know. So now I can prevent you from leveling once per game. Now when you draw Orange Meditation, you really got to think, you know, am I going to make this have full value? Am I going to get full value out of this? I'm going to look at this card, I'm going to look at Orange Meditation, and I'm going to say to myself, am I seriously going to get max value out of this card? My opinion is very, very simple. There will be a lot of times where it comes in clutch, but that clutch is only going to last once. And as a former Orange player, and as probably a Orange Adept player, I'm probably going to stick around with Orange Adept. You know, again, I said, you know, hey, if I was like, you know what, fuck Orange, I'm never going to play Orange, I'll probably still play Orange Adept. That's not a sin, but just saying. I'm happy Orange Meditation is out the window. I'd prefer it to be, well, not completely out of the window, but I'd off, you know, out of here, but I'd kind of prefer it to be gone. And come to think of it, is set, was it set 8? Is set 8? Is set 8 over 2 years old? I think so. Well, maybe. If it isn't, it's very, very close to being old. Let's say maybe not. I don't know. I'll probably have to look that up and verify that later. But to me, it's like, is this, you know, it's like, well, Anger has a more powerful matchup against Orange Yao. Yes, that feels good. That does feel good. And then finally, Orange Focusing Drill is now frozen. I said this in my Orange is the New Black Devious video. I said this. And the FanZ devs listened. In order to create a balanced meta, if you give, you must take away. And what I mean by give, I mean, I'm just reiterating what I basically said in my Orange video. If you give us a card like Saiyan Legendary Strike, pull something away. You know, if you give us a card like Orange Meditation, Orange Bicycle Kick, pull something away. And they did. They gave us Orange Attraction Drill, they got rid of Orange Focusing Drill. Fuck Orange Focusing Drill. I think the last time I played Orange Focusing Drill, I think it was set 5. Or if it was earlier, it was like a one-shot, yo, I'm totally going to play this deck, and then I never play it. But, seriously, fuck Orange Focusing Drill, dude. Especially, you know, with Attraction, because it's like, oh, I mill 4. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts, really, doesn't it, huh? Oh, you mill 4, and then you check up drill twice, and then you're back to where you started, you know, it's like, so, Focusing Drill, and that was like, I said that in my other video, or I said that in my other video, in my Orange video. I'm just gonna quote that Orange video 100 times over, but Richie said, and he didn't say this to me personally, he said this in a blog post when FanZ was still alive, but he said, the reason why we nerf things is because the meta's stale, the game is not developing any further, or because it's overpowered as fuck. And to me, Orange, this Focusing Drill Attraction combo met all of that criteria. It was overpowered. It was stale because every deck is now running Attraction Drill, and every deck would probably run Focusing Drill in addition to that, again, unless you're me, who plays mediocre Orange Adept decks. But, and then, of course, because it's annoying to play against, obviously, it's overpowered, it's already annoying to play against. But, this is what was needed to be done by the beginning. Again, just iterating what I said in my orange video. Just, this needed to be done in the beginning. The second you gave us all of those orange cards, we needed orange cards to fly off the shelves. Fly off the idea of possibility. You give us Attraction Drill, get rid of Focusing Drill, like, immediately. And you kind of did. You did it not in a super timely manner, but Dead Zone came out 2 months ago? Yeah, like 2 months ago? Less than 2 months ago? A month ago? More like 2 months ago. FanZ came out like 2 months ago, and you did. You did take away. I just kind of want it to be a little bit faster. I would really, truly, honestly like to see it to be a little bit more faster. You know? And I'm not saying, nerf all of set 1. I'll kind of discuss nerf set 1 here in a second. Well, actually, I think I already did. But, moreover, just, if you get these cards out, freeze them a little bit faster. If you're like, well, maybe we shouldn't limit, or maybe we shouldn't errata Bicycle Kick. No, do it faster. Whoa, just do it faster. And jumping to my next target, my next topic, like, guys, I know a lot of people took this a little bit seriously, but don't look at top cut to see what's overpowered unless it's consistently taking Actually, I lost my train of thought. Okay, don't look at top cut in tournaments if you're only going to quote the one tournament. That's an argument. Like, a lot of people are arguing, well, but Orange didn't take top cut. How could it be, didn't take Worlds? How could it be overpowered? It's like, just because it didn't win Worlds doesn't mean it's not overpowered. Okay? Now, with this, it will be lessened. But moreover, stop looking at it as in, like, okay, well, in Worlds it doesn't work. Orange didn't work. Well, unless Orange is I don't remember exactly, but to me, there were a lot of orange. Were there a lot of orange decks? I don't remember. But to the people who say, oh, orange was okay, it's like, no, it's not. Open your eyes. That's just bullshit on my part. I'm not too pissed off as to whether or not orange was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm not too pissed off. I don't think this is the death of orange, like, basically just eclipsing the entire thing. The entire point of the orange portion is orange is not dead. I don't think it ever will be dead, or I don't think it'll be dead anytime soon. If they start pumping out new stuff, or if they start pumping out these erratas, like, sporadically, like once every month, maybe. I don't think we've ever gotten a CRD this close together, two CRDs this close together before. Quote me if I'm wrong. But this kind of moves to a different topic, and it's a topic I've seen happen in another card game I played, Yu-Gi-Oh. Don't make CRDs and erratas. Don't make them so frequent that we can kind of predict what's going to happen. You don't know what I'm talking about? Like, Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest issue was that it created metas basically on the fly. If you don't know what that means if a deck that would be meta would be not meta next term because the CRD would, or a ban list change would go, okay, now the top decks are not top anymore. Now we're kind of in, again, even with set 11 being released, we're kind of in that area where it's like nothing's really too overpowered at one point. But in my opinion, we need to not get into the habit of pushing out CRDs very, very quickly. Now, if the FanZ dead says, yeah, we're freezing set 1, boom, and set 1 is just gone. We're freezing set 1, we're not even going to look at set 1 ever again, the whole thing is frickin' banned. Okay. But don't do that often. Don't freeze set 1 and then immediately turn around and freeze set 7 in the next meta. And I'm not saying they're not going. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they are. I'm not saying that they are. I'm not saying that they're not, and I'm not saying that they are. But at the same time, I would hate for this game to just be sporadically changing. I don't like sporadic. I'm not saying I don't like tons of change, or I don't like change. I'm saying I don't like tons of change in a very, very condensed focus. If you slowly start freezing more and more of set 1, and then do it, my argument is do it moderately. Don't just jump on this frenzied freeze train because you think it's necessary. So, just some words of advice, just some talk, some table talk, my opinion on the whole set thing. Maybe eventually I'll start talking about, I don't know. I don't really have any videos planned, and I like, as much as I like making videos, I don't like making numerous videos in a very, very short time frame. Unless it's like, wow, this is actually something that I should genuinely talk about. So, I just remembered that I have Mystery Box, that despite the fact that I'm still midway through this tournament, we're still midway through this tournament. I gotta make an announcement on that. Shit. Well, I guess I've said everything I need to say, or I want to say, about it. So if you've skipped to the end, let me just kind of iterate. Overpowering attack. My first question was initially why, but now I'm kind of seeing why. It's kind of making more sense to me. Visiting the past. We'll remember all of the good times we had with it, but we won't miss it. Orange Meditation. Finally. Jeez, I hated Orange Meditation. So, we're getting rid of that. Finally, they're really taking into consideration whether or not we actually want these cards. They're actually taking away. And then free focusing drill, fuck focusing drill, fuck the focusing drill attraction combo. Get rid of it. I'm glad they did. And I'm glad. If they reverse it, if they ever get rid of it, if they ever decide to bring it back, let's hope attraction drill gets frozen too. So, I think if they ever plan to bring focusing drill back, they're gonna freeze attraction drill. They're gonna have to, because if they don't, then I'm probably gonna make a video about it. So, but that's the gist of everything. So, my name is Joey, and I'm signing off.